There's a lot of variables here to consider, and I want to talk you through at least, what I think our intelligence community should be discussing with this administration. And they better listen, because part of the reason we're here in the first place is because the brass didn't want to listen to the boots on the ground in the first place. I am of the mindset also that if generals don't want to listen to the intelligence coming from the people on the front lines, perhaps maybe it's time for them to start actually attending war rather than sitting back in their nice, safe concrete bunkers, moving us around like chess pieces based on political talking points and obscure budgets. Now, I've said for a long time, the upper military brass and our other civilian OGAs, the other government agencies, they promote people to these upper echelons that are not always on the merits of their career, and oftentimes politics plays a much bigger role than it should. Now, this is why ground intel is often ignored, okay? Because of this. It might not fit a narrative that they want to portray for the general public. Now, I've offered a solution to this. Have semi-senior enlisted or the civilian equivalent who just got out of theater. I'm talking guys who just got right off the battlefield. Sit them right next to our senior leaders. And when a bunch of talking heads analyzing data all day, giving these briefs about whatever the sit rep is, they can just turn to the dude and say, hey, you were just there. Is this right? In some degree, we do have this at some agencies, but to ensure those leaders actually listen, we have to have some accountability. So sit that field guy right next to the general and have him write the director's fit rep at the end of his eval period. It'll make him listen for sure. Now, you see, there is a greater storm coming, and unless we pull our head out of the sand, no pun intended to Afghanistan, it's going to be real bad. And that's what we should be doing right now. Instead, we have Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
We have a moral obligation to help those who helped us, and I feel the urgency deeply.
What does that remind you of? Oh, yeah.
For dry, red eyes, clear eyes is awesome.
In this predicament, perhaps Lloyd Austin is not the messenger we want reassuring people on the ground.
The time frame of a rapid collapse, that was widely estimated and ranged from weeks to months and even years following our departure. There was nothing that I or anyone else saw that indicated a collapse of this Army and this government in 11 days.
See the connection there? He didn't see this coming, really? If there's any wonder why the Afghan military couldn't hold their own, that's the video right there. They can't even do jumping jacks. It shouldn't come to any shock. Had he had spent 1 second on the ground, he might have realized that. Look, I wouldn't pick these guys from a kickball team, let alone defend the nation. But on a more serious note, our current leaders of the Taliban, yes, in fact, were released from Gitmo in 2014. And everybody says, oh, it was so bad, it was terrible, it was no good. Granted, Trump wasn't in office then. But, let me play devil's advocate here for a second. And I hate to do this, but I got it. We captured thousands of enemy combatants. I mean, what are we supposed to do with all of them? Keep them indefinitely? I mean, you saw how previous administrations want to close down Gitmo. I mean, look, I have a few ideas how we should treat convicted terrorists. I'm not sure that jives with the Geneva Convention or our legal system, but Afghanistan is definitely becoming a terrorist hotbed. We've seen that in the last 72 hours. And in a short time, let me be clear about this. In a short time, it will have the capabilities to strike America. I want to be exponentially clear for the intelligence people who may be listening to this. I was on the ground in places like this. This is a foregone conclusion. Our administration needs to start planning for that now. That time is now, because from the folks I've spoken to, and these are folks that are in the know, they say we are woefully unprepared. And if you doubt me, keep this in mind.
We were clear-eyed about the risks. We planned for every contingency.
They were clear-eyed about the risk, and yet the Taliban still took over an entire country in less time than it takes to order a custom suit, outperforming all the estimates by the Biden administration, all the intel officials. And if it's our Homeland Security isn't prepared to prevent a domestic attack like this, what are they even doing for us? I mean, the Taliban has thousands and thousands of fighters that are obviously willing to die for this caliphate. So keep in mind, our southern border is wide open like a Walmart on Black Friday. You can just waltz right through there. You do the math, folks. Now, even without any access to large-scale weapons or dirty bombs or chemical, they can still do a significant amount of damage on soft targets. But I want you to consider this, though. And not a lot of people are talking about this. Pakistan, it's it's right next door, everybody knows that, they most certainly had a hand in the Taliban being able to retake an entire country of Afghanistan, no doubt. The Taliban doesn't operate on geographical borders like we do. During the course of this entire conflict, Taliban fighters move freely in and out of both countries. It's not like the Pakistani government didn't know. The Taliban operates on tribal borders. And when they occupied much of Afghanistan, as in they, as in we, as Americans, the Afghans just simply went to Pakistan. That's where we were unwilling to go. Now, meanwhile, we give Pakistan billions of dollars a year in aid. And all we got out of it was like them housing bin Laden some 400 meters away from the equivalent of their West Point. Now they're back. We're gone. And I'd be willing to bet that they're going to foster this warm and fuzzy with Pakistan. And folks, Pakistan is a nuclear power. Are you paying attention yet? Now, if you doubt me on this, do you honestly think that a bunch of dudes living in caves just came out one day, we're like, oh, sweet, the Americans announced the pullout date. They overthrew an entire country with no help from the countries on either side of them that sometimes openly chant death to America? I mean, my fear is that without strong leadership, like we had in the Trump administration, we're going to learn a lesson of having a weak American leader the really, really, really hard way.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.